Hi, welcome to my other show. My name is Susan Rushton, and this just happens to be Muse. This is the show on which I get to talk to people who have been visited by the Muse, who are dancers or singers or songwriters or writers or actors. And in this case, this person is Jennifer Belle. This person, Jennifer Belle, is a local singer who has gone worldwide. She's a country singer. Jennifer Belle, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Susan.
Yes,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. And if you want to learn more about her, then you'll learn from this fabulous show. Please log on to Jennifer Belle, JENNIFER, BELLE music.com, or you can go to her. You can email her at info@jenniferbellemusic.com. So, but meanwhile, where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Castro Valley.
Castro Valley.
In the Bay Area.
And you live here, and you live where now?
I live in Roseville.
And you work in Folsom.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just part of your life. Tell me about how did this career start?
Well, I have always wanted to be a performer, whether it be singing, whether it be acting in musicals, dancing. I started dancing at the age of 3 and started singing at the age of 6. And the singing really started in church. And in the Bay Area, Transfiguration Church, and such good memories when I think back to those days.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I used to spend a lot of time at my grandparents' house, and my grandparents were really the ones that really pushed me with the singing. And you know, my parents worked full time, so I was over at Grandma's house a lot. She would, back then they had records that they played. And
records, yes.
It was Patsy Cline.
Those. Okay.
Yeah, Patsy
Yes.
Cline. They would play it from start to finish, and I learned all the songs, including Walking After Midnight and Crazy, Sweet Dreams, and I literally would raid my grandmother's scarf drawer, and I would dress up. I'd pretend to be Patsy Cline and put on some scarves and you know, kind of dress up like her and walk down their stairs singing, you know. And they said, okay, great, now do it again. March up there and do it again. So they really gave me the chance at a young age to get that feeling of performing. And it was in their living room, and it was amazing.
They paid attention to you. They appreciated this.
Yeah.
And you learned how to be appreciated, how to do it right.
And so then from there, I took a lot of dance lessons. I was a Dwayne dancer, trained in ballet.
A Dwayne dancer?
A Dwayne dancer.
What is a Dwayne dancer?
A Dwayne dancer, we were a tap troupe, and we were also taught ballet and jazz and tap. And we would go around to the San Francisco, the Ferry Building. We would, at Christmas time, we would do like the lunch shows and the dinner shows, and we'd perform our dances. And I did that when I was a teenager. I took 2 weeks off from school right before winter break, and I just performed full time.
Wow.
And it was an amazing experience, and it was really cool.
Yes.
Thankful for those times. And then I got into musical theater. Did a lot with Alameda Civic Light Opera, San Jose Civic Light Opera. And
how old were you then?
Oh gosh, 16, 17.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I graduated, and I wanted to do bigger things. I didn't just want to stay local. I wanted to do the real thing and get paid the real thing. So I decided to take a chance and drive by myself to LA and audition for Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Got the job. And then a couple of months later, I would say like 3 to 4 months later, I was heading to Miami. And they put us up in an apartment. We rehearsed, learned 2 review shows, and once we boarded the ship, we lived on the ship, and we did 2 review shows. We performed 4 times a week.
Wow.
And then from there, came back home, still, performed.
What kinds of songs? Or was this mainly dancing?
I was the only singer-dancer in the cast. They had 4
Specialty.
4 female dancers, 4 male dancers, 4 female singers, 2 female singers, 2 male singers.
Okay.
And we did review shows, and it was a very fast-moving show. One was called The Beat Goes On, so we performed, different music from like the 60s or 50s all the way up to, it was like 98 back then. And then the other one was called Starstruck, and we performed different excerpts from different musicals.
Okay.
And it was just a really great experience.
Yeah.
Living on the ship, it was very
Working with
different.
people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I took a chance.
Another chance.
Another chance. And I was 7 months pregnant. And I went to Beach Blanket Babylon and auditioned at 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Got callbacks, and they said, I made it all the way to the very end, and the director called me aside, and he's wonderful. And he called me aside and he says, you know what, obviously we really want to hire you, but we can't. Our costumes won't fit you.
Yeah.
But after you have your bundle of joy,
Yes.
come back again. You never know what may happen. So I did. I had...
And so you have had how many months, how many years experience with Beach?
I would perform
Babylon?
with Beach Blanket Babylon 2003 to 2006.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was also an amazing experience.
Yes.
Got a chance. I mean, that show's amazing in itself.
Uh-huh.
They stay up with all the current events. In fact, it's closing at the end of this year.
Yeah, I know.
After all these years,
Yeah.
it's hard to believe, but man, what a show! What an
Yeah,
experience.
So a lot of people, like me, would think that 3 years of regular acting and singing and dancing with Beach Blanket Babylon would be a career.
It really
However,
was. Yeah.
That's not all your. What next? What next?
Well, I honestly thought that that was it. Beach Blanket Babylon was it. I was content performing in the show. It really was a career. But not all shows last forever.
Mm-hmm.
And everything happens for a reason. So when that door closed, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna do the New York thing. Let's just see what will happen.
One opens one's own doors.
Yes.
Right?
I get this, once I get something in my head that I want to do, I just go for it.
Yes.
You never know. You only live one life,
Mhm.
Just go for it. And so I
So
took
now you're in New York.
the jaunt. I lived in Jersey and commuted into the city, and auditioning in New York was literally an 8-hour job that you didn't get paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of work.
Yes.
But it was a really good experience as well. Every experience that I've ever had, any experience led me to where we are now.
Sure. Yes.
Everything kind of happens for a reason.
Auburn.
Everybody's on their own road,
Yeah.
and so I got a few callbacks. Went to an open mic off Broadway on 47th Street.
Mm-hmm.
And they approached me after I sang my song, and they said, do you want to write your own show? Write your own show?
Oh,
Perform it
okay.
here.
Wow.
So I did, and I performed about a 45-minute show, and it was all through song about me in my journey
Uh-huh.
that far. And it was a hit. It was great. Everybody loved it. It was only a one-night show, but I think that was the highlight of my New York trip.
Wow.
And I did get a call back for the national tour of Hairspray and the Broadway show of it, and never got it. I just looked too young for the part.
Darn.
But I was thankful to get the call back.
Yes.
To get a call back on Broadway
Means
is
something.
exactly.
Yes.
So I'm just thankful for everything that has happened so far. So then after we came home from the East Coast, I was introduced to Loomis. And so I lived in Loomis for a bit. Then I lived in Colfax for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Then I lived in the other end of Roseville. And I'm still in Roseville now.
Yes.
But, you know, this area is great. The Sacramento area has a lot to offer when it comes to music. And I was singing karaoke one night, and the leader of a cover band came up to me, and he said, why don't you come and audition for this band? And I said, okay, which band is it? And he says, well, there's no name just yet, but we know we want to put together a band. Just come on out and just sing a little bit for us. And it ended up being Rhythm City All-Stars. And we go by RCA for short.
Rhythm City All-Stars.
We're a cover band, high energy dance cover band. We play a little bit from each genre. So then I got involved in the music community out here through that cover band.
Okay.
And, but in the back of my mind thinking, I don't know exactly where I want to go yet. Maybe I'll try this for a little bit, but I really, really, really want to try writing my own stuff. But I was always afraid. That was one thing I was always afraid to do at first, because I didn't know how everybody...
This woman was afraid. This woman who was doing this on Broadway in Florida, you were afraid.
Well, I was always the one that wasn't afraid to go out there and take direction from others.
Okay.
But when it came to creating my own and getting it out into the world, that was really scary.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
But an amazing
I understand that I
well.
know. I don't understand that you would know that.
Yeah.
But so you are now you are writing your own stuff, correct?
Yes. So when I started with that cover band, I was also working at the time for a theater company, working with children. So I was still getting my musical theater fix at that company, and I actually was directing, choreographing for shows for them. So we ended up doing and I was very fortunate that my children were able to be involved and get a chance to experience that. My mom was in a show that we did. So I directed and choreographed some shows, but some shows that are sticking out that were really a highlight was Hairspray Junior. It won an Ellie Award for Best Junior Production.
Yes.
And then we also did Cats. So I took a cast of, I think it was like a cast of 60 or something like that. But the age range, my youngest was 3 at the time. Or maybe 2.5, I think 3. But I had 3 and 4-year-olds all the way up. I think the oldest cast member, I think, was in her late 60s.
Wow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And it was just a joy to work with everybody in a group that big. And they were just so gung-ho, like, Miss Jen, we'll do anything. Let's just throw it at us and let's see what we do. And I gave them very tough choreography, I tell you. And they took it like champs, and they got on stage and they performed their little hearts out. And it was a wonderful show. Wonderful. So I was very happy. So I choreograph and I direct. And yeah.
And now you.
So now, so performing with RCA, it really got a chance for me to get out into more of the music community, in front of the public, and everybody started seeing what I could really do. And I thought, I'm just going to take this and run with it and take a chance and start writing my own stuff. So I wrote this song called Road of Dreams. And my mom's a performer, I'm a performer, and my children are performers. So I thought, 3 generations. Gotta write about family. Gotta write about the 3-generation thing. So that's how Road of Dreams became the song. Well, it was released to YouTube and it was doing really well, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna take it. I was sitting at Starbucks one night on my laptop, and I thought, well, I Googled top hit Nashville producers. and a couple of them came up. Got a hold of their emails, and I just emailed them the song link from YouTube and a couple of pictures and an email explaining what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
What I really had wanted to do since I was a little girl. I wanted to be that country singer, you know.
Patsy Cline.
And I wanted to be
Patsy
the Patsy Cline.
Yeah. Of the 21st century.
And I, you know, I love Barbra Streisand and I love Shania Twain. Shania Twain's my idol.
Uh-huh.
But all three of those performers, I wanted to be like them because not only do they sing great and perform great, but they really tell a story. I mean, you can you look at Barbra Streisand when she sings and it's like, oh, you can just feel the emotion coming out, as well as Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
And Shania. So I really wanted to take a chance in doing that. Well, J. Gary Smith got back to me that night. And he says, I really love your song, but I really love your voice. So could we have a phone chat tomorrow? And that's how everything started with this whole Nashville journey.
So tell me about this Nashville journey. This Nashville journey. This is a big deal.
Yes. Now, I also have to give major, major props to a good friend and also my executive producer, Bob Huffman.
Mm-hmm.
He saw me performing with Rhythm City All-Stars. He saw me performing with Rhythm City All-Stars at Thunder Valley one night. And during one of the breaks, he came up to me and he says, so I hear that a Nashville producer wants to work with you. Well, I want to be part of that. How can I help you? I want to... And so I explained to him the whole thing, and he says, you know what? Let's go for it, girl. And I looked at him at first, and I went, could this really be true? Really? Do you really know, what's going to be happening if you jump
how to do this, and the people, and
I was so excited. I was so excited. And so, you know, it's really a team effort, you know, to get an independent artist who really wants to get out there in the world and have the world hear their story through music. It is a team effort. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really takes a village to get them out there.
Yeah.
And I feel very blessed to have such a great, fabulous team behind me. It's been amazing. So we started this Nashville journey. We started flying back and forth late September of last year. And gosh, we recorded in two separate studios, one being on Nashville Row on 18th Avenue. And
that's a big deal.
That
musical,
is a
country musical.
Yes.
Road.
Historic.
18th Avenue.
Yeah.
18th Avenue. Okay.
And so, and the musicians on this album. Okay, I have to tell you, I was very intimidated when we first walked into the studio because, well, I was intimidated to meet Jay Gary, first of all, my producers, for the first time in person. They literally took me under their wing, gave me a hug, and treated me like family right off the bat. It was amazing. And they really showed me that they really believed in me. And it kind of calmed me down, get more of my confidence again out there, and to move forward in creating what I wanted to do was to create this album where you push play and you didn't want to push stop or pause throughout the whole thing. I wanted people to, I wanted the songs to be that touching to others.
Yes. Now these are all songs that you've written.
No. So they were written by other writers.
Is that a goal of yours?
So I still have the songs that I wrote.
Okay.
But, it's very important for the first album to be, it's right on the money.
Yeah.
And, so they do work with writers in Nashville that are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I told you, Gary, he says, what do you want, what message do you want to get across to your audience? And that's how we chose the songs.
What message do you want to get to your audience?
That find your true inner self, be strong, move forward in life no matter what happens. You may fall, but you are very capable of picking yourself up.
This sounds very familiar. This sounds like the songs you would write about your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's not just my own life, but other friends or people I've come in contact with and met throughout my life, that have been through certain experiences that, you know, I just wanted to say it's okay. It's you know, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's okay to make mistakes. It's how you handle the situation, which brings out your true character.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before we started taping, you were telling me this story that you were singing, and share what happened.
Once we were out in Nashville, okay, so what really touched me was one of the studios, actually both of the studios that we recorded in. So first of all, we walk into the first studio, met the musicians for the first time, and these musicians they're legends. They play with Reba McEntire, they play with Carrie Underwood, Faith Hill, all these, you know, wonderful superstars and legends. And we started singing, the first studio we went to, we laid down the tracks. So it was more for the musicians. I was there to sing, but they weren't recording me yet.
Mm-hmm.
I was singing there to lead, you know, to sing with the band as they were playing. And there was a touching moment where the first couple of runs that we did on the first song, they stopped. And I thought, oh, what did I do?
God.
What did I do?
This is the end of everything.
And then Michael Spriggs, the acoustic guitar player on the album, he's amazing, by the way. So humble and so nice and so talented. He said, Jennifer, I know I'm speaking on behalf of all the guys in this room. You're wonderful. You sound amazing. We all just wanted to stop you and say that. And here I thought I did something wrong. It was amazing. I thought, right on. I can really do this. Yes, let's do it. Let's do more.
How exciting.
So we completed that. Once we completed that, the next morning it was right back to singing. And it was tough. It's not just singing for a few hours and you're done. It is like an all-day event.
Mm-hmm. Why is it an all-day event?
Well, I know nobody's perfect, but I am a perfectionist, and I really wanted to get the right feeling in the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard to connect with an artist when you're just hearing them. It's easier to connect with an artist if you're hearing and seeing them perform. But if you can't see the artist and you can just hear the voice, it's really difficult. It's like acting.
Yeah.
Through the voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But, you know, I just really wanted to get it perfect. And I know that there's no such thing as perfect, but you can get darn close to it.
Yeah. and apparently, from what I gather, I know that you are 16th, the latest chart internationally of your record, of your.
The single moving day. Mm-hmm.
Okay, is 16th worldwide?
So it's the independent country artist of the world chart.
Say that again. Independent country artist
of the world.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I was very pleasantly surprised the other night. I was sitting at number 23, and just the other night I got notification that I moved up to number 16. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Why do you suppose that is?
I just think the song in itself is a wonderful song, and it has a very strong, good message to people. You know, men and women, and teenagers. And, you know, that's another thing, too. I wanted to be a really good role model to the audience, you know. Especially the little ones, my youngest daughter's age.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I just think that, you know, it's a great song, and the musicians sound great. And it was fun singing it.
You sound wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, that has to be, right? You do sound wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Now, is this a song you wrote?
No.
No. But that's a goal. Okay.
And the writers that wrote Moving Day have reached out to me, and they all, you know, have said, we love your performance of this song. We love the level that you took the song to. we're just so thrilled to be on this journey with you.
I'm really impressed. When we hear about showbiz, hear about how dog eat dog, how tough, how biting, how really hard it is.
Mm-hmm. It is very hard.
And at the same time, you've found people. You've found people who know how to treat other people, who know how to treat. You are not a beginner, but you're a beginner in Nashville.
Right.
And
yes.
They know how to do this. They know how to make people feel good. That's extremely reassuring.
Oh yes. And you know, Jay Gary's been in this business for over 30 years. He and his son John have been working closely together for many years as well. But Jay Gary's also a performer, so he performed back in the day and took on this, you know, production company that he has. But I mean, he just knows how to do it. He knows how to make the artist feel comfortable and confident. And you know, at one point,
what a great role model he is.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
And he's like another dad to me, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just so thankful that my path has crossed with so many wonderful people. I just can't believe it. So far, this journey has been absolutely amazing, and I hope it continues to be amazing. And you know, this business is very cutthroat. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. For those of you who maybe want to get into this business, and I'm still working on this myself, you really have to have a tough skin. It's not an easy thing to do.
Why do you have to have a tough skin? I know the answer, but tell it to me.
When I was in New York, I was brunette.
Okay.
And it's always been, you're not going to get the job because you're too short. You need to be blonde.
Mm.
You don't look old enough. It's always something. And it can really break you down as a person. Like if you really take everything so personally that, you know, and they say it for a reason. I get it, you know, but at first, when I was a teenager, it was rough.
Yes.
It was rough.
Yeah.
But every rough experience has shaped me as the person who I am today. And I have to be honest, sometimes I do struggle with it still.
Yes.
Know? But
so as this past minute has been discussion of what advice for performers in general, right? Mm-hmm. What advice do you have for singers? Specific advice do you have for singers?
Well, your voice is an instrument, so be sure to take really good care of it.
How do you take really good care of it?
You know, before I do a show, I steam, meaning I get one of those machines where the steam comes up and, you know, you got to keep your vocal cords moist, your airway clear. Sleep, which, yes,
can be tough.
Yes, Mom, I know you're watching. And yes, I will focus on getting more rest. But yes, rest is very important. And just, it's a muscle too. So, you know, with any muscles, you have to be careful not to overuse it.
But you also have
You always have to warm up
Yeah.
before you sing. I was very fortunate to have a wonderful vocal instructor growing up, Diana Ryan. And she taught me really good technique. And in fact, when we were recording in Nashville, John, Jay Gary's son, he's the vocal producer, so he would be the one looking at me in the booth and saying, okay, cut, let's do this over again, or that was great, or what. He says, I can't believe it's been 7 hours and you still can sing more. Mm-hmm. And I really have to give props to Diana Ryan for that because of the technique that she taught me.
Wow.
So use your vocal cords correctly. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
And rest.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And I'm assuming you would like to perform in front of audiences again?
Oh yes,
Uh-huh.
I'm really, I love being in the studio recording, but the stage is my home. There's nothing like being on stage and giving an amazing live performance that makes your audience feel like they are a part of it, and to get that message across and touch people in a positive way through music. I mean, there's just no feeling of that. And I'm hoping that maybe later on this year or next year, I will be able to get on the big stage, the big stage, in front of thousands. I'm praying every day that, I really hope that happens soon.
Yes.
That would be amazing. But even to do just a small, intimate acoustic show. We just had a show on June 2nd at House of Oliver.
Where is that?
There was about a little over 90 people there. That's in Roseville.
Okay.
And we introduced, it was a very intimate show for an exclusive listen in on the songs from the album. And everybody left there thanking me so much. They felt, because I like to go out in the audience at some point.
That's wonderful.
Let kind of people sing too. I want people to feel a part of it.
Right.
And they said, we actually felt like we were at a big concert. We loved your songs. Thank you so much for touching me.
Oh, good.
One lady said, where can I see? We sang a song from the album that's not released yet. And she says, where can I find it? I want to play it again. It really touched me. Like I connected with it because I went through a certain experience.
Right.
Similar.
Right.
So, where can I find it? And
Oh,
I said,
boy.
you're going to have to wait for the
That's
album to be
wonderful.
released. Which I'm hoping soon. So.
Jennifer, this has been wonderful. This has just been wonderful. Jennifer Belle, Belle. And you can find her on jenniferbellmusic.com, Jennifer, Belle, music.com, and email info@jenniferbellmusic.com. I really appreciate the time you've taken. Accompanist Roberto Reyes.
Yeah, Roberto has been with me out here on the West Coast, and he really stepped it up, and we play acoustic shows. He's wonderful. He's really taken to the music like a duck to water. Like it's just,
Great.
it's really cool. He plays with such emotion, which I love.
Good.
And I connect with when we perform. So
Wonderful.
We're excited.
Yes. Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
You're
and thank you
welcome.
everyone for watching.
Yes.
Hopefully
yes.
we'll see you out at a big concert soon.
Yes.
And thank you
you.
so much for your support. Moving Day. Download it. It's available everywhere.
Thank you very much for watching.